Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Top 10 Multiverse. There is something we love doing in our free time, whether it's watching a movie, hanging out with friends, or listening to music. Well, in my case, I love listening to music, and to keep check of the biggest hits of each decade. I'm sure many of you love music as well, and if so, comment down below your favorite music genre. So today, let's take a look at the top 10 hits of the 90s. Seeing the best tunes of the 90s in one place makes this era look scattered, in my opinion. The reason for saying this is because the history has reduced it down to grit and gangster rap towards one side, teeny bopper groups and Britney Spears at the other. However, it's the stuff in the center and on the edges that makes the period hard to summarize. Let's start with number 1, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. If you didn't wear flannel and mosh around to this song, were you really even around in the 90s? Nirvana set the standard for 90s grunge music and, for better or for worse, opened the door to the millions of disaffected rock music that followed for the rest of the decade. The song that blew up the world. The song that defied all rules about how music worked and how much raw emotion you could cram into 4 cheap chords and a crummy guitar solo. The song that kicked the future in the teeth. The song that shattered all your complacency about settling for the politics of the inevitable. Smells Like Teen Spirit was Kurt Cobain's challenge to the audience, and after all these years, the challenge still stands. Number 2, Nothing But a G-Thang by Dr. Dre and Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Like a bubble, Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G-Thang, babe.
The NWA producer, a whole career already behind him, comes back mightier than ever, with a lot of help with the new kid on the block. This groove makes any car bounce up and down, with a bass line realer than Real Deal Holyfield. The decade didn't actually begin until Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre showed up. Neither of them were stranger to us. Dre had proactively shaken the rap world and the nerves of white America as an individual from NWA. And Snoop's genuine, authentic presentation happened months sooner on the soundtrack to the film Deep Cover. Number 3, Juicy by the Notorious B.I.G.
Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keep me pissy. Girls used to
The first single from the Notorious B.I.G. became his most iconic song. It's still considered one of the greatest hip-hop songs of all time. Nobody previously or since has accomplished other things to legitimize the gangster rap way of life than Christopher Wallace, on the lead single to his gigantic presentation collection, Prepared to Die. Succulent works on the grounds that Biggie adjusts his set of experiences of Bed-Stuy destitution so unequivocally against the braggadocious features of notoriety and fortune, counting a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis, a reference that presently sounds as interesting as the Sugar Hill Gang's Lodging Inn Holiday Inn. Number 4, Defunk by Daft Punk. It's practically difficult to accept, yet years before DP began jamming with Pharrell and soundtracking catwalk shows, they delivered an entire collection of euphoric banging house in Homework, the gem in the crown of which was Defunk. It referred to ages of dance music that made it, the winding, corrosive synths, the stepping drums punchy enough to floor Godzilla, yet additionally had something new and mind-blowing flowing through it. It had Defunk. Number 5, Common People by Pulp.
To a supermarket, I don't know why, but I just started somewhere.
Britpop fans consider this one of the best songs of the 90s because of its consciousness around issues of class, and the way it builds to an anthemic climax. Jarvis Cocker has more soul and swagger exhaling a puff of smoke than most singers have in their entire catalogs. A Britpop masterpiece full of sex, sarcasm, and despair, but mostly sex. Does it cheapen this searing Britpop hymn that its subject, the girl from Greece with a hunger for information, supposedly proceeded to wed Marxist economist and maverick finance minister Yanis Varoufakis? Not the least bit. Number 6, Glory Box by Portishead. Elegant trip-hop melancholy, with Beth Gibbons drowning her sorrows to that timeless 70s sample of Chiba zonked Isaac Hayes funk. a sample brought back to the radio in 2015 by the not born yet Alicia Cara. It's no exaggeration to say that during the 90s, Bristol was among the most artistically significant urban areas in the world. At the core, all things considered, were Portishead, whose desolate, agonizing, and frequently oppressive sound was an intrigue of logical inconsistencies that characterized trip-hop. Number 7. Beetlebum by Blur. Beetlebum is a song by English alternative rock band Blur. It was released as the lead single for the band's eponymous fifth album, Blur. The single became Blur's second to reach the number 1 spot in the UK singles chart, after Country House. Damon Albarn has confessed that the song is about heroin and the drug experience he had with his then-girlfriend, Justine Frischmann of Elastica. In the 2010 Blur documentary, No Distance Left to Run, Albarn confirmed this notion on film. Number 8. Unfinished Sympathy by Massive Attack. For better or for worse, Massive Attack will forever be known as trip-hop pioneers. However, by a long shot, their most significant commitment didn't actually fall into that classification. A melancholy but grooving ballad scattered with samples, Unfinished Sympathy was heralded as a stunning song on release and still holds its own today. Each component is immaculately positioned, from taking off strings to Sharon Nelson's easily strong vocals to the insightful, percussive ringers that present the track, still equipped for sending shudders down a couple of spines. Number 9. Soon by My Bloody Valentine. Inspired by a crop of bands who purportedly favored gazing at their guitar impacts pedals to communicating with the crowd, shoegaze was never an incredible term for the cloudy, boisterous, deafeningly uproarious sound fixed out in the late 80s by My Bloody Valentine. Different groups labeled in that capacity, Ride, Slowdive, Lush, Chapter House, The Telescopes, all did a few superb things with commotion and tune. Number 10. Waterfalls by TLC. Waterfalls by TLC remains one of the most iconic songs of the 1990s. The track became a massive success due to its socially conscious themes and memorable vocal melody. 20 years before Kanye West cottoned on to the withstanding virtuoso of Paul McCartney, badass R&B team TLC were on top of it. They took a Macca song from 1980 about the perilous game of cascade hopping and completely changed it into a shocking metropolitan dramatization with an exceptional chorus. Drugs, murder, HIV. Lisa Left Eye Lopez stanzas treat life's misfortunes with astuteness, tolerance, and soul, before her rap teaches the influence of trust and self-conviction. Also, God, obviously. And that's it for today's video. Click on the like button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to click on the bell icon and subscribe for more amazing content. Let us know in the comments if we covered your favorite song of the 90s or not. Thank you for watching.